Welcome back. And Alana joins us today on our conference. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's great to have you.
Thank you.
Okay, without a doubt, I think we can all agree that the advancement of in-car technology has taken tremendous strides forward over the past 5 to 10 years. Our next BMW expert, Stephan Durack, was the engineer in charge of the HMI, or Human and Machine Interface, team for BMW, and was responsible for our latest iDrive system. Stephan is now responsible for the BMW Technology Office in Palo Alto, and he joins us today. Good morning, Stephan.
Good morning, Tom. So I'd like to talk a little bit about our next generation iDrive system. But before we can take a look at the system, I'd like to talk a little bit about the history we already have in this topic. So we started already in 1994 to bring our first navigation system to our 7 Series at that time. And I think we have a long tradition in being the driving forces in efficient control. As you can see, we introduced this feature in 2000 in the 3 Series. And up to date, we brought a lot of innovation specific in this topic. So we brought a new iDrive system in 2001 in the 7 Series. And in 2003 and 2004, we added a head-up display to our concept, which is an important part for us. In 2007, we introduced a pre-programmable button. Maybe you're familiar with them. And in 2008, today, we are just introducing the next generation of our iDrive system. So important for me at this point is to point out what we have done the last couple of years to get to this solution where we are today. So we started with 4 different concepts we built up in mock-ups, and these 4 different concepts, it's comparable to the design process we've seen before in the film. We've made a lot of customer testing, and we just picked 2 of these concepts to the next step, and we find these 2 concepts, and after a lot of customer testing, we reduced to 1 concept, and on the right-hand side you can see the picture, what the result is out of it. So the interesting point at this is we made a worldwide testing, so we flew around 10 tons of material around the world. We've tested in 4 locations, so in Asia, in Japan, in Europe, East Coast and West Coast in the US. And we tested with about more than 500 customers doing exactly the same tasks and everybody else in the world, just to understand cultural difference and what people are able to understand and what they have problems to solve when you're driving our cars. So we built up 2 concept cars, as you can see on the bottom of the picture. We rebuilt a complete 7 Series interior and a 5 Series. It's a drivable prototype. I mean, in an early stage, and the customer has a chance to drive around with this car and have the experience what it will be today. So as well, you can see we have a driving simulator with us. So we're doing a driver simulating testing for testing specific tasks which should happen in normal traffic. The result you can see here on the picture. I don't want to go too much in detail. I will just point out a couple of highlights. I think an important thing is we have our center console tilted to the driver with a 7.2 degrees angle. The reason for that, it's driven by the ergonomic in the car. As you can see on the right bottom of the picture, these green shelf around the driver, it's exactly what you can reach with your right arm without getting your shoulder away from your seat. And there, everything you need to control in the car is exactly in this reach. So if we take a look a little bit more in detail on the architecture or the distribution of the different functionality in our car, we have a separation between display and control, which is really important for us. Because for accommodation of your eyes, your display and your information should be as far away as possible from your eyes and should be as close as possible to the road. And the control to control your content of your display, it's there where you can exactly reach it with your hand, like you see in the ergonomical picture before. In addition, we have a separation between driving functionality and comfort functionality. So everything the driver has to use to is directly in front of him, like our multifunction steering wheel, and on the left side, our driver assistance systems. And on the right-hand side, you can see there's everything which is dealing with comfort, so that the passenger can control it anyway. Okay, that's just a brief overview of what we have done with our iDrive system.
Great. Thank you very much, Stephan, and thank you for joining us. Well, you've now met Martina, Stephan, and Alana, most of our BMW panel, but there's one person who you haven't met, but I think most of you already know him, and that's our manager of BMW Product Communications, Tom Stephan. Good morning.
Good morning. Ready for some questions?
All right. It's the next exciting part of the conference, so welcome, Tom.
Thank you.
So let's make a transition to the Q&A portion, and for those of us joining online, please continue to send in your questions, and for those of you in the audience, we will have some microphones circulating, so if you have a question, please just raise your hand. We'll bring a microphone over to you, and if I could ask you to please just state your name and your publication. That way we can let the online audience know which question and where it's coming from. That would be appreciated.